So in the previous class we discussed about the universe, the solar system and its different planets. So we will discuss about today the earth, because out of the 8 planets we discussed that earth is the only planet of the solar system on which life exists. So earth has water in liquid form, oxygen is present in the air and warmth of the sun is there to nourish life on the earth. So different forms of life are found on the earth, like plants, animals, insects, birds and humans, and all coexist on the earth, means they exist on the earth together, they live together. So the presence of life make it most beautiful and unique planet. So till now only the planet earth has life. So it had not been always like that, but slowly the planet earth got the life, and till now the only planet that has life is the earth. So earth was formed approximately 4.5 billion years ago from a cloud of dust. So initially earth was very hot, it was like a huge ball of fire. So molten rocks and hot gases were there. So with time the hot gases cools down and forms clouds. So there were continuous rains that cooled its outer surface. So the surface became hard on cooling and the water got collected on the surface in the liquid form. The gases formed the atmosphere. Slowly the conditions became suitable for life to take form, because earlier it was also very hot, like huge ball of gases or fire, but slowly it cools down and its outer surface got the becomes hard on cooling, and then water started collecting on the surface in the liquid form. So slowly the conditions became suitable for the life to take form. If we will see the layers of earth, the earth is made up of 3 layers, that is core, mantle and crust. So 3 layers are there on the earth. So core is the innermost layer, it is the innermost layer of the earth. It is the hottest part, which is made of dense minerals, mainly iron and nickel, and it is known as the hottest part of the earth. Even in the core, the part core has a solid inner core and a molten outer core. So the inner core has a temperature of about 4000 degrees Celsius, and this core is mainly made up of iron and nickel. Next is our mantle. This is the middle layer of the earth. The middle layer of the earth is called mantle. So it is the thickest layer, which is made of rocks rich in minerals such as iron and magnesium. So here the minerals are present, which are iron and magnesium. Then the outermost layer of earth, that is called crust. It is coolest and thinnest layer. So life exists on this layer, we live on this layer. This is the coolest and thinnest layer. Oceans, mountains are also present on this layer. So crust is made up of rocks such as granite and basalt. Again the crust is divided into different plates. So first of all, core is the innermost part, then mantle is the middle layer and crust is the outermost layer. So the crust and mantle float on the molten outer core. They are always being pushed upwards with great pressure by hot gases and molten rocks. So because of that, mountain formation takes place. So due to extremely high pressure that exists below the surface of the earth, some weak spots in the crust break open. The hot gases and molten rocks called magma that comes out through these openings, and volcanoes are formed. So you can see here, like here it is being seen. So when the crust and mantle being pushed upwards, they with a great pressure, so they are forming mountains. So due to extreme high pressure that exists on the surface of the earth, there are some weak spots in the crust that breaks open, and the hot gases and molten rock called magma, it comes out through this opening. So this is how the volcanoes are formed, and when volcano erupts, the magma comes out of the volcano and the magma reaches the earth's surface, that is called lava. So when volcano reaches the earth's surface, that is called lava. So volcanoes are also of three types, that is active volcanoes, dormant volcanoes and extinct volcanoes. So active volcanoes means volcanoes that erupt regularly. They are called active volcanoes. For example, Mount Etna in Sicily, Italy, that has been erupting from the past many years, like past 500,000 years it is erupting. So volcanoes that have not erupted for a long time but can erupt again, they are called dormant volcanoes. So they are erupting regularly. Active volcanoes, they are erupting regularly, but these are not erupting, they have not erupted for a long time but can erupt again. They are known as dormant volcanoes. For example, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Africa, that is a dormant volcanoes. And extinct volcano means volcanoes that have not erupted during recorded history, they are called extinct volcanoes. So they have not erupted during the recorded history. For example, Chimborazo volcano in Ecuador and the Siprok volcano in New Mexico, these are considered as the extinct volcanoes. That means they have not erupted during the recorded history. If we will see the movements of the earth shows two kinds of movement, that is rotation and revolution. So the earth has two movements, one is rotation, another one is revolution. So first of all we will see what is rotation. So the earth spins on its axis like a spinning top. We have played many times with a spinning top. So like that the earth spin on its axis, that movement is called rotation. When earth spin on its axis like a spinning top, that is called rotation, and the earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. So it takes 24 hours, which is considered as one day, to complete one rotation. So if we will consider this as a earth, then this is the axis of the earth. This is an imaginary line running through the center of the earth from North Pole N. This is North Pole or N pole. This is South Pole or S, from N to S. So axis, we have taken an imaginary line which is running from North Pole to South Pole. So because of this rotation, the day and night on the earth are caused. So earth's axis is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degree. You can see this is the imaginary line. This is the imaginary line and it is tilted. If we will take a middle line to the earth, then this line will divide the earth into two equal half. But our axis is like this. Our axis, earth's axis is like this. It is tilted 23.5 degrees. So this is there is another imaginary line that runs around the center of the earth at an angle of 90 degree to the axis, that is known as equator. So this is called our equator. It divides the earth into two equal halves. So one half is called from the North Pole towards the North Pole, this is known as Northern Hemisphere, and towards the South Pole, the other half which consists of the South Pole, that is known as Southern Hemisphere. So we have studied here the most important terms for you, that earth is having an imaginary line that is considered as axis. Axis is an imaginary line which is running from North Pole to South Pole. Then the earth axis, this axis is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degree. So the equator divides the earth into two equal halves. The half that is towards the North Pole, that is considered as Northern Hemisphere, and toward the South Pole, the other half, that is considered as Southern Hemisphere. Now we will see how day and night takes place. Suppose here is the sun rays are coming. When the sun rays comes, the half portion of the earth receives the sunlight. So the part which is receiving the sunlight, that is having the day, and the other part which is not receiving the sunlight, that is night. Then after some time again, earth also along with spinning on its axis, earth also revolve around the sun. So when earth is moving around the sun, so again it is changing its position. That time the other half is receiving the sunlight, is having the day, and the half which is not receiving the sunlight, that is having night. So this is how day and night takes place. When sun rays are coming, the half which is receiving the light, that is having day, and the half which is not receiving the light, that is having night. So this is about the rotation. In the next class again we will discuss about revolution. Till then you read what is rotation and learn the new terms related to the rotation and the revolution. Next class we will discuss about the revolution.